Alright everybody, so in this video you're going to see me going from an absolute blank screen, even the thumbnails actually this time. I'm going to be doing the thumbnails with y'all and explaining every step as I take it from just an idea, just a thumbnail, picking out the thumbnail, painting it all the way till the final image. Okay, so here we go. Now, what is this image for? That's the first thing I want to think about. This image is for a fun and friendly competition on our Lightbox Expo Discord, where the theme is all about warm and cozy. Okay, we call it our Holly Jolly Paint-a-thon that we've been doing each year for Lightbox Expo. You could go to discord.gg/lightboxexpo for more information there. There's tons of amazing prizes, including Wacom tablets, Schoolism subscriptions, and Lightbox Expo passes for next year. Okay, so the first thumbnail here, it's a treacherous weather, and you have this one character, this one creature. It's walking through this treacherous weather, and it's protecting its small little infant from the horrible weather. So the offspring is actually warm and cozy. But because the majority of it actually feels like not very hospitable, I decided against that thumbnail. Now this thumbnail is actually two furry long critters that are kind of snuggling up with each other, so it's warm and cozy. Okay, another warm and cozy idea here is just two critters on a branch, and maybe they have their tails intertwined. This one I actually really like, and perhaps I might do it in the future. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do this in the future. But this one is all about, there's kind of like a burrow, and there's all these critters within the burrow, and it's being shaded by these pine tree branches with snow on top, and it's shading this burrow from getting any sunlight, any warmth. But now there's a crack of sun that's hitting our little critters here, and now they're warm and cozy. This one is kind of like a play on the last one, two critters on a branch, except now there's a bunch of snow that's formed, collected on their heads, making it kind of cute, but then they're still warm and cozy. Okay, another play on the branch where it's this giant long creature and it's all snuggled up on the branch. Here we have some perspective lines showing that this thing is really high up and it's just overlooking the edge right here and looking all the way down. It's very scratchy. Okay, out of all of the thumbnails, this is the one that I went with. This one is about this character that's sitting on a chair, and it's snuggling up with all these pets that it has, and there's a fireplace here, there's frames on the wall, and there's snow outside. Okay, and that's the one I went with. Okay, so once I decided on a thumbnail, I brought it into Photoshop, and in Photoshop I started to solidify a lot of these very sketchy things. A lot of these very sketchy things I don't even think about in the very beginning. I'm just plotting down little bits and pieces and I'll figure it out later. I have a somewhat blurry idea of what these things might be, you know, enough for it to work with the composition. Okay, then once I chose my thumbnail, now I need to solidify what all these things should be. You can't just say, oh, this is a pile of garbage. You have to really define what that pile of garbage is. And for me, it's like, here's a bunch of stuff in the back. Here's a character, not too sure what this character is going to look like, not too sure what this fireplace is going to look like, and now I'm getting into it and solidifying all of these things. So here you can see that I've taken the very sketchy thumbnail and fleshed it out more. Now you can see a bunch of cats on top of this character. This character has rollers in its hair that might change later. But now that I have this more refined sketch, it's still not as refined as the fireplace, so I definitely need to get into that and solidify a lot of the details there as well before I get into the painting. For something that's a more complex painting, generally what I do is I'll draw more. I'll draw more of the details, I'll do more thumbnails, I'll do more preparation generally. Once I start solidifying the drawing, then I could get rid of the rough drawing, right? And now I can get quite specific when I start to paint. After I have my line drawing, then I want to work out the lighting, especially in more complex illustrations. In this case, we have two main light sources. We have the fireplace, which is the main light source, and the secondary light source is actually that window. Okay, cool light's gonna come through that window, warm light from the fireplace that will engulf most of this image. But I need to work out the lighting. So here I can easily just paint underneath the line layer, figuring out the lighting in black and white. Once the lighting is worked out, then I could start to bring in actual colors. Okay, and generally every case is different. But in this case, because it's so complex, I want to break down the steps even more. So what I'm doing is I'm just painting in general colors and not being affected by the light source just yet, but just general colors of the different elements in this image. I vary up the bricks in the back to make it feel a little bit more real, rustic, I guess. Just slight changes in hue and saturation and tone. Now that I have all the basic colors for all these different elements, we have to put the influence of the light from the fireplace, right? And that warm light is going to make everything a lot warmer. And so here we go. Just going to turn it on and give everything a bit of that influence. And now for the fun stuff, or the most fun stuff for me, is just bring in those lights. Right? Everything becomes so much more three-dimensional when you start adding in all the subtleties of things. So I'm starting to add in the light coming from the fireplace. Now this is the general light from the fireplace. We're gonna actually put on an even more intense light afterwards, but let me just get these things down first. You know, one step at a time. Okay, now we can see the really bright brights, and we can see how perhaps the rest of the image actually needs some accents here and there to make it even brighter so you could really feel the warmth of that fire. Adding in subtle details, textures. For this illustration, I didn't want to leave anything really clean and bare anywhere. I wanted there to be textures, patterns everywhere, giving it more of a rustic type feel, I was thinking. Okay, and here's the final image. So you can see two lights, like I was saying, one very obvious one being the fireplace, bring out a lot of warmth, and you can see I added in some really warm, bright yellows there and oranges to really sell that idea that there's a lot of light and warmth coming from the fireplace. And then I have a secondary light coming from outside the window. Right, and that is going to light up everything else. Close to the window, you can see that the cat gets a little bit of that cool light on its back, as well as the chair. And you can see that generally everything inside is all of a warm color, and then we have this nice contrast with the window outside. And there you go. Does it feel warm and cozy? I hope it does. I hope you like this video, and definitely check out the Discord challenge, the Holly Jolly Paint-a-thon on the Lightbox Expo Discord. Get on the Schoolism sale. The winter sale is still happening, and it's an amazing sale, so definitely get on that, and we'll talk to you later. I'm going to play a short clip about the amazing Schoolism sale. Please stay on, check it out, because it's not to be missed. All right, everybody, have a great time, and I'll see you all next time.
Spread some holiday cheer this season by giving the gift of learning to yourself or a loved one during Schoolism's winter sale. For a limited time, save over 30% on a 1-year Schoolism subscription and get instant access to all 50 plus art courses, access to all new courses coming out in the next 12 months, and the ability to attend exclusive weekly live webinars hosted by the industry's best artists to learn the secrets behind their success and techniques they use in their own work as professional artists. With savings like this, there's no better time to take advantage of this special offer and make this your best and most creative year yet. Offer ends on January 12th.